audience. This is Joseph Skoda, and you're in the office with Joseph Skoda today. Hey, how you like my background? I think it's pretty slick. Got the shades on, you got the smile, got the thumbs up. It's kind of like you got it going on. You have something a surprise, something you want to share. Maybe more importantly, you know more than the average person. They just have to trust and believe you. Well, I'm going to tell you that I often do things I think I'm capable of doing and don't do it very well. Let me tell you, for instance. All right, I lived in a town not too far from here just a couple of years ago, and we had a lot of gophers in the yard. And I had this little gopher trap. It's a black box, and pretty much you see the gopher coming up, you dig a little hole, and you put the trap in there parallel, and it just has a small opening for light. You put little leaves over, a little bit of dirt to block out the rest of the light. And more often than not, you'll find a gopher, get in there and smack. You trapped him, you killed him, he dies. And then what I would do is take the gopher out, usually stick him back down the hole to scare any other gophers away, and hopefully they run away. Well, it worked for me for the most time. Don't get me wrong, having a cat helped too for those other times where I missed getting to go for myself. Well, now I live more in a town, more of a city, the suburbs. There's a lot more houses near me. And yet, I did not think I would have gophers, but I have gophers here also. But they're a little smarter. Well, one thing, the dirt here is a lot harder. It's harder to dig a hole, but you see them pop up and they disappear real quick. See them pop up and they disappear real quick. And even though I would try to dig a hole and put the trap, I've only caught one once, But they're everywhere, and you see little mounds of dirt. Now, if you have moles, you'll have a little puddle kind of near the concrete or the foundation of the house. When you have gophers, you find mounds of dirt anywhere there's grass. And thankfully, I have artificial turf in my front yard, so I don't see them very often. Well, anyways, the point is I'm getting more and more mounds of dirt, not sure where to put the trap. But when I do put a trap out, I'm not catching anything, and I need to hire a professional. A professional, something I've done for years, but this is new territory for me. I need to hire a professional. Now, how many of us, now when I was younger, I'm a licensed aircraft mechanic, not so much vehicles. I used to work on my own engine, change my own brakes, change my own oil, things like that. You know, tires, those are easy. But more often than not now, it's harder to take the oil filter off your engine. It's really hard to get to. Twisting on it, you're always going to rip a shirt or at least bleed somewhere in your hand, and not the best grip. Or even changing the battery. Sometimes you have to take all of these mechanisms off, brackets off, even to get to the battery to change it. Now, I'm not dumb. I know how to do a lot of things, but why? Leave it to the professionals to do it so I don't have to get all dirty, rip my clothes, or potentially bleed all over the place. Let the pros do it. Now, that's an issue we have in life is we think we can do things that we used to do when we were younger. I'm guilty. I'm telling you, right? Like lifting heavy objects, 2x4s or 4x4s, and building things. I know how to hammer a nail and hit a drill just fine. I can do those things. And I did find out a few months ago, I put a water filter system for the whole house, so a whole house system. And I thought I could do it in the garage where there's a hot and cold line, or I thought I could do it near the furnace where there's a hot and cold line. And I just decided to call a couple of plumbing companies, give me an estimate what they would charge. And guess what? For one thing, you can't do it in the laundry room or by the furnace because the main line, the only main line is coming from in front of the house to the front of the house. So from the curb to the front of the house. And I had to put the water filter outside in the front of the house, not even the rear where it couldn't be seen. Okay, so I hired someone. I paid about $1,500 for this water filter household system in itself, and another $1,200 or $1,300 for a plumber to install it. And I had to build a little shack around to keep it out of the elements so the sun wouldn't hit it, rain, try to keep it out of sight, out of mind, so we don't steal the copper, and basically just to protect it, make sure it lasts a little bit longer. Now, anyone can put up a couple 1x4s, 2x4s, and some paneling and bring it down and put a door on and hinges. It took a friend of mine, I'm really not exaggerating, about 5 weeks to put together no wider than 2 feet by about 4 feet and maybe 5 feet high. Put this together takes about 5 weeks. And it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. I think I spent 3 times more money trying to do it myself. Oh, we made a mistake cutting this wood. Let's go buy some more wood. Oh, instead of using this hinge, let's use a different hinge. And then the painting's still not done. It's all painted, but around the edge where you get too close, you can hit the sidewalk or the side of the house. So I left that alone for now until I could go back and reattack it. But if I would have just hired someone, I probably would have paid them $200, maybe $300. It would have been done, would have been professional, would have been done in 2 days. I did not leave it to professionals. Trying to save money cost me money. Trying to buy more traps for the gophers, and even the poison, they got the big pole you could stick in the ground and poison them, cost me more money in the long run than just hiring someone to do the job right the first time. Maybe you can relate to some of those things. In fact, tomorrow I'm having a house cleaner come to my new house. We've lived here, I think, 10 months. And there's 4 bachelors, 4 grown adult men living in the house. And I think most of us know how to clean any given day, but we just don't. We become lazy over time. Our priorities have changed. Maybe some of your priorities have changed in your life. So I'm hiring a house cleaner to come. Now this is my third chance to find one because the last couple of months I have someone come and look around and say, I don't think so. Or someone else came a few weeks ago, like, well, I'll call a friend of mine. Maybe she'll do it. So this time I'm having someone come to the house who hasn't been here before. So crossing my fingers, it's all going to work out. The house is going to be clean. It's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. The first time it will, because it's going to be more of a deep cleaning because we let the house go to neglect a little bit. But the whole idea is if we keep regular maintenance on the house, regular maintenance in the garden, keeping the gophers out, regular maintenance on our cars, even if we pay a professional, we save in the long run. We save money, we save time for doing these things, and probably more importantly, stress. Sure, it might cost us a couple dollars in the beginning, but it relieves a lot of stress and pressure from how am I going to get this done? Now, let me tell you something else I failed on. Now, my taxes I have not done for 2020 yet. It doesn't matter what the day is. I filed for the extension. I have all that in place. In fact, the last 3 or 4 years, I filed for an extension to get my taxes done. I know very well how to do taxes. I've been doing them myself for about the last 7, 8, 9 years, something like that. I've done it for most of my life. But over the last couple of years, well, I bought a house now, for instance. I started another business, for instance. I do a lot of volunteerism, for instance. And even though I know how to do a lot of things, I would have saved a lot of agony, time, effort, stress. Basically, I'm still looking for my receipts if I would just hire a professional. Do you understand what a professional can do? They have the skill set. They've went to school or have certain experience or have learned the tricks of their own trade to help people like you and I in our struggles and challenges that we have, regardless of what it is. Now, I know because a year ago I became a coach, basically a coach in my own business. I'm helping mentor people, coach them to the next level, and whatever the next level may be for you. And I know from my past, I wanted to do all the marketing myself, social media, doing videos like this myself, writing blogs, keeping my website up to date. And I know how to do all those things. But there are days where I get distracted, or even weeks where I want to go on vacation and travel, do some other things where I'm not always focused on the important aspects of my own business. And guess what? If we don't remain focused on our own business, someone else is going to take business away from us. Someone else will take business away from us if we can't focus effectively. So what I'm saying is maybe you're great to do Facebook ads all day long. I know Facebook, there's pros and cons to using it, for instance, but unless you really know what you're doing, and if you can have a budget, hire a professional to manage those Facebook ads for you. Or like me, I'm part of a My Lead System Pro that teaches Facebook training, marketing, and Twitter, for instance. It shows us how to do ads and how to do different things in social media, and more importantly, how to brand ourselves. How many of you know how to effectively brand yourself? Trust me, I didn't for a long time. That's kind of my brand today, anyways. But I have a nonprofit I started a year ago called GI Connections. And I'm helping connect veterans with resources. So if you're a veteran, preferably a United States veteran, please reach out to me. Maybe we can work together. I can help you if you want to go to school and start that career path, or start your own business, or just need someone to talk to, maybe to work on your disability claim. Those are different things that I do. So look me up at GI Connections, GI Joe Skoda at gmail.com, and you can find me and reach out to me. And please subscribe to my channel, our channel, social media shows, and you find me on YouTube or everywhere else, Vimeo. But the point is, in life, we often take shortcuts because we don't have the time to focus in certain areas. So even though we may know everything, there comes a time and place we need to hire a professional. If you've ever been married, you know how effective a wedding planner could be that planned that wedding for you. It's not always necessary, but if you're expecting a lot of guests and you want the hoopla and the biggest event of your life, you may want to consider a wedding planner, a professional, someone who's been there, done that, someone who can save you a couple of dollars here and there also. So it's so important that we reach out to people out there that can make our lives a little bit better. Life is not perfect. We're not always going to do it right. And maybe you just want to take a vacation for 30 days. And can you imagine if you trained someone to work different aspects of your business, or cleaned your house, where you could actually take off for 30 days or even more and not worry about the job getting done? That's kind of invaluable advice right there. Hire someone to make your life just a little bit easier so you can learn to enjoy your life a little bit better. And one more thing, if you're getting good help from, I don't know, a maid service, a mechanic, someone who cooks food for you, whatever it may be, make sure you tip them well or pay them well. Now, we don't want to overpay our mechanic or anyone else, but we also don't want to underpay our mechanic or anyone else. It will bite us. It will bite you in the ass. I know that from my own experience. And if someone's out there catching gophers for you or any other critters, don't you want to ensure they do a good job each and every time? And not maybe they'll catch your gophers and leave a rat or two behind, so they have to come back a week later to exterminate them also. Hey, it's life. It's life. So we take care of those that take care of us, and hopefully they take care of us a little bit better. It's a two-way street, and everyone wins in the end. Isn't that what it's all about? Anyways, you're in the office with Joseph Skoda, and I encourage you strongly to find a professional when you need professional help. Some of us don't know we need professional help right away. So go out there, shop around a little bit, get recommendations from friends and family that you trust, and make your life just a little bit better. Anyways, you're in the office. G.I. Joe Skoda, over and out. Thumbs up, everyone. Thumbs up.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provide.
Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything we want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now. Live streaming on social media is the best new way to interact and bond with your community. Do you love to encourage, motivate, and empower others, but you do not know how? Well, your opportunity starts with us on social media shows. We have 20 shows a week live streamed across the globe, with a reach of over 80,000 and growing. So you can host your own show, and you can be anything we want to be. So let's bring the community together, and let's bring the world to you. Join us now.
You're in the office with Joseph Skoda. How do you like my office? We got flowers in the background, and beautiful mountains even blooming. It's pretty exciting. You know, we live in a society. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're living in a society where there's a lot of fakeness. A lot of people are fake. Obviously, breast, butts, brains sometimes are fake. Our news is often fake. Sometimes we don't even know who we are because we leave our homes putting on a mask, whether it's a virtual mask, a real mask, makeup mask, where we come across sometimes a little different than who we really are. Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda. And many of you know I'm a Toastmaster. I'm obviously a veteran of the Air Force, and I've traveled the world quite a bit. And I know a little bit about fakeness. And sometimes, let's be realistic, when I was in the military and traveling abroad to different places, sometimes I would not put on the forefront that I was a military veteran or active duty person, because we don't always want the world to know. And sometimes we can become targets if people know who we really are. I understand that part. But why do we still, outside of our jobs, our professions, our careers, still want people to think we got it going on maybe a little better than we actually do? Now, how many of you remember Michael Jackson? Now, Michael Jackson had millions. I don't know if it's 100 million, 10 million, 200 cajillion million. That really didn't matter. And he really, I don't think he was fake. He put on the glove and put on the mask and different hats and was a good dancer. But he often wanted his skin to be lighter. Now, we can speculate if he had a skin disease or an allergy of some sorts, but he was not always happy with who he was, despite his success. Now, how many of us aren't happy who we are? Now, my last name is Skoda. I'm very happy and glad that's my name, and that's a Slovakian name, and I still have not visited that country of Prague or Czechoslovakia or that area of the world yet. Now, some would say Skoda means what a pity, or it's a shame, or oh my, it's not the best. And even though Skoda is the name of an auto manufacturer, I believe they make tanks and so many other things, it's not, the name itself is not always glamorous. Now, often most of our names aren't glamorous. Most of our lives aren't glamorous. Yet we want to portray to the world that we got it going on. When is too much too much? What is enough enough? You know, obviously, when we're out on the dating scene and we're trying to attract the opposite sex, yeah, we can elaborate or embellish some of our stories a bit, or even some of our looks a little bit. But when are we allowed to be our real selves? Or are we? Are we allowed, once you put it out there that I'm this and I did that and I'm accomplishing much more? Can we give ourselves permission to ease it down a bit and be the real us? Now, obviously, when we're dating and we're making a connection with that other person, right, we're afraid if we be the real us, we may lose that person we're hoping to be part of our life. Understandably. But you and I need to really decide what's important. Now, we see a lot in life on social media and even in the paper and other places where a lot of us are entrepreneurs, business people, network marketers. And I'm all that myself also. And sometimes you'll see them post pictures with fancy cars behind them or traveling somewhere in the world or meat coats or leather jackets, whatever it is, so they're living a certain lifestyle, glamour. Some of that may be true, some of that may not be. Does that matter to you and I? Does it matter if someone's driving a Lamborghini? Does that attract us to them a little bit more? Now, I know once upon a time in the 70s, 80s, 90s, it did for me. I wanted to see people under private yachts and traveling and doing different things. And I know a lot of people with private yachts, and actually I know a couple people with private planes. But the majority of us do not have those kind of things, even though we may be striving to earn it one day, but we don't have that today. So is that okay to show that? I guess if it's your lifestyle, it's great. But what I've learned, and we've all heard this, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The aspect is people don't care about your riches so much till they know how you're going to help them achieve some of their success and their riches. Now, sure, a fancy car, a yacht, or a trip in memory lane with flowers behind you may look great. It may attract certain people, but there becomes a time in life when you and I have to be real. Real. We have to talk about our struggles, our challenges, our friends and family not believing in us. Those are hard conversations to have. Absolutely. And right now we have the Olympics going on and the best of the best around the world competing. Now, sure, now they're all Olympians, everyone loves them and supports them. But can you imagine the struggles many of them had early on in their life? Say, this is what I want to do. I want to be a gymnast. I want to be a javelin thrower. I want to play basketball. And how much doubt may have came from their closest friends and family. You're not gonna make it. You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. How many of us feel that, especially as entrepreneurs? I get beat up all the time. You're not gonna make it big. Do you understand big to you might be different than what big to me is? My job as an entrepreneur just to replace my income from a job. Didn't have to make the millions. It's coming. I'd have to make it right away. I just wanted to replace the income that I was already making so I can have a little more control over my life, where I want to go, what I want to be, who I want to visit in my own time frame. You understand, you and I have choices. We can put on that facade and that fakeness all day long in the rest of our lives, and maybe no one will notice. Let me tell you a secret. People notice. People notice. And or we could just continuously struggle and people don't even have to see our success. Is that good also? Because then people will say, wow, is it worth all this trouble if you've been doing this for 20 years and you still haven't made it? So it's kind of a fine line. We have to mix it up. We have to show and be real about our challenges, misconceptions, what we've learned, how people cheated us, how to find money, effort, commissions, whatever it is, and then show the little baby steps we've had to take along the way to get where we are. Now, I've taken a lot of baby steps over many, many years and more steps to come, obviously. And what do you say? Take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 1 step forward, 2 steps, whatever it is. We often moving forward and we have to fall back due to failure, due to misconception, due to running out of money, due to being lied to by other fake people. Understand, no one wants to be lied to or cheated upon, and we definitely don't want to admit it to others. I don't want to admit how many times I've given up $1,000 here, $1,000 there, heck, $50 to someone, and it was a lie, a fraud. They were just trying to get my money. I know, and I encourage you not to be that person. People look at us, and if you're in a business, for instance, let's just say you're selling Toyotas. You're a Toyota salesperson and you work for a big Toyota corporation. You're selling Toyotas all day long. You're telling all your friends and family, you have to buy the Toyota Highlander. It's the best vehicle out there right now. You have to buy a Toyota Highlander. And then 2 months later, you're working for the Chevy dealership and you're telling, hey, you need to buy a Chevy Equinox. You need to buy a Chevy Equinox. You understand, people, they may believe us, but they know deep down inside that we're just trying to get a commission from them. We're trying to steer them to get a commission or help our company grow this a little bit better. Now, that's something in that realm, but how many of us will maybe sell, let's just say, vacation packages, and 2 months later we're changing, we're selling vitamins, and 3 months later now we're selling lotions and potions, and 5 months later we're doing something else. That's not fair to you or those around you. Pick something, learn about it, grow with it, and you have to have a belief. Because when you and I chase that next shiny thing, that shiny nickel down the street where it's going to be bigger and better and faster and easier than ever before, it's often not. Now, what if you brought in 2 or 3 reps under you in your business and you talked it up, hey, this is a great vitamin, you're going to make money, I believe in it, and then you change to a different company, you try to bring them along with you? It's kind of being fake. It's not being real because you don't really have belief in yourself, let alone the product and what it really takes to be a leader. We need to stop pretending to be leaders and actually be leaders. Now, I know in Toastmasters, we have these core values: respect, integrity, service, and excellence. Respect is an easy one to understand. It's not just we respect you when you respect me. No, we give respect all the time, and hopefully it comes back upon us. We always have to respect others. And service, our service should always be the best service that we can give. And the sell after the sell and the follow up after the sell. We need to do that. You sign up a rep, you need to continuously communicate with them. Excellence. If you're given training or you have a product or service, make sure it's the best available. Continuously work on your craft. Make it just a little something better so people will want to come back and believe in you. But let me talk to you a little bit about that one called integrity. Now, integrity, we have it in the Air Force, and I think all the services integrity, and most of us have that as a goal or vision statement in one of our organizations. But we deep down want to believe that we're showing integrity. And that's the basic thing, doing the right thing when no one is watching. I think you and I know what we're talking about. Doing the right thing when no one is watching. Sometimes it's easy. It could just be, I don't know, you're baking a cake. You're baking a bunch of cakes at your job and you sold so many. Well, you have one cake left at the end of the day. Do you take it home? Do you sell it half price? Do you put it in the freezer for the next day? It all depends what your company's rules or bylaws are in that case. But or are you shortchanging the customer by putting less icing on top maybe? Maybe your decorations, you're taking one flower off to save money. Maybe when you're baking, I don't know, brownies, instead of giving a dozen brownies, now you're giving 10 brownies for the same price. That's all kind of integrity with ourselves. That's all trying to do, or not trying, but doing the right thing. Now, sometimes, yeah, cost will prohibit us from doing what we did before. But our job is to be upfront with people and say, hey, now things change. Either I up the price a certain amount or I lower the quantity or quality of something. And we've seen that a lot over the last several years, even in the supermarkets. I eat Prego spaghetti sauce. Some people use Ragu. I like Prego and Prego. You know what I'm talking about. And we've noticed the jars get a lot smaller the last couple of years for the same price. That's just because of inflation, sure. But I feel cheated. I don't know about you, but I feel cheated. I feel cheated every time I put gas in my vehicle. Why are we spending so much money, especially me living in California, and we have drills everywhere, the state, and the ocean, and in the valleys, the deserts, everywhere. They're pumping oil, and yet we pay some of the highest prices in the world for our gasoline and oil right here. Integrity, interesting. Anyways, we're here to talk about our fakeness. You obviously know these flowers behind me aren't real, and that's okay. They don't have to be real. But I like it. See, this is more real to me. This is Pismo Beach, and probably about 15 to 20 minutes away from where I'm living right now. It's not fake. I'm not on the beach right now, but I live near it, and it brings me a little peace of mind. It makes me feel good inside. But when we're trying to show people we're having fun at the beach all the time, a picture is great. Well, let's show people we're actually having fun at the beach. I don't always have fun at the beach because there's too many people. Now it's summertime and we have more tourism in our area than any other time of the year, and many other vacation places do, of course. So I enjoy the beach in times like this, either early morning, late in the evening, or more importantly, when summer vacation's over, so I can kind of have it all to myself. That's not being fake. That's being real. And that's telling people what you need, what you want. And we need to tell people what we need, what we want from them, and encourage them to be the real themselves. You be the real you. I'll be the real me. There's a time and place to put the makeup and do the hair and maybe seem like you have a little something going on before you do. And they used to say, fake it till you make it. And understand that somewhat. You do want to have a posture like you're making it, and a little bit of an attitude like I'm going to make it. But you also have to be real. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. I'm changing my mindset. I'm changing my attitude. I'm changing the people I associate with. That's not real. I mean, that's not fake. That is real. But just realize you and I have to know the difference between being fake and being real, and let the people around us know which is which when we're coming out of our house each morning. Anyways, you're in the office with Joseph Skoda, G.I. Joe Skoda. G.I. Joe Skoda is real. I was a GI. You have yourself a great day, and feel free to reach out to me. Need a little help in business coaching, mentoring? Hey, I just may be your guy. Have yourself a great day. Bye now. If you liked our show, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or find us on any social media platform, Instagram, of course, Facebook. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts and join our team. Anyways, we appreciate you staying tuned week after week, day after day, because we continuously build up our network to bring to you what you're asking for. Have a great day.